Now we step into something every Linux user eventually faces. Not a command, not a file, but a real-world problem. You install Linux, everything looks perfect, and then no internet. It's one of those moments that can feel frustrating, especially for beginners. But once you understand what's happening behind the scenes, fixing it becomes just another skill in your toolkit. Understanding the situation. In Linux, your internet connection depends on something called a network interface. This is the name your system gives to your network device. Before fixing anything, you always start by asking IPA. This command lists all available interfaces. You might see names like ETHO for older systems, ENS33, ENPOS3. Each system can be slightly different, so the key is simple. Find your actual interface name and use it correctly in configuration. Traditional Debian, or the older systems. In older Debian-based systems, networking is controlled through a simple configuration file. To begin, open sudo nano/etc/network/interfaces. Or sometimes configurations are split into /etc/network/interfaces.d/star. Inside the file, you define how your system connects. A basic working configuration looks like this. Let's break that down. Auto-low, it brings up the loopback interface, internal system communication. iFace-low inet loopback, it defines how it behaves. Auto-ETHO, it activates your network interface automatically. iFace-ETHO-INETDHCP, it tells Linux to get an IP address automatically from a router, DHCP. Important. If your interface is not ETHO, replace it with your actual one, like ENS33 or ENPOS3. Applying the changes. After saving the file, remember your nano shortcuts. You need to restart networking so the system uses your new configuration. You can do sudo systemctl restart networking, or restart a specific interface. Sudo if down ETHO and sudo if up ETHO. Again, replace ETHO with your real interface name. At this point, if everything is correct, your system should connect. Modern Debian, they use netplan file. As Linux evolved, so did its networking system. From around 2017 onwards, especially in Ubuntu, configuration moved to something called netplan. Instead of .conf files, netplan uses .yaml files. Finding your netplan file. Start by locating it. ls-lsa/etc/netplan/pipe grep.yaml. You might see something like o1-network-manager-all.yaml. If it doesn't exist, you can create one. Sudo nano/etc/netplan/o1-netcfg.yaml. Writing the configuration. Inside the file, you define your network like this. What this means. Version:2 refers to the netplan configuration version renderer, networkd, refers to the system service handling networking. ETH0 refers to the your interface, change if needed. DHCP4:true. It automatically get an IP address. Important note, you do not define the loopback, LO, here. Netplan handles it automatically. Applying the configuration. Once saved, apply the changes. Sudo netplan apply. And if needed, sudo systemctl restart networking. The bigger picture. At first, fixing internet issues in Linux might feel like troubleshooting in the dark. But now you can see the pattern. Identify your interface, IPA. Configure it properly, interfaces file or netplan. Apply changes, and restart networking. And just like that, something that once felt like a roadblock becomes another controlled step in your workflow. Because at this level, you're not just using Linux anymore. You're understanding how it connects to the world.